This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. I'm not wearing shoes right now.
That's nice.
We had a lot of tomato answers, tomato responses in the comments. I didn't mark most of them to read, but I appreciate the tomato feedback, whether you like tomatoes or not.
That took me a second what you were talking about, because that was the beginning of last episode.
Yes, it sure was.
So it was like 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, at least 6 months ago.
Months, that's what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
6 years.
6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hi. This
Hi.
is the podcast. How you doing, Brian?
Much
like you call me Jamie, do people call you Brian with like the full syllables? I hear Bry way more from those who know you well.
I'd say it's 50-50 as a result of that. But yeah, when someone if you call me Brian, God forbid if Kimmy calls me Brian, that's just weird.
I mean, if you call me James, I perk up what the who? Huh? Yeah, who is that?
It's like when your parents say your middle name, your first and middle name angrily.
It's like when Dan was here and you called me Jamie 3 different times, to him, oh yeah, when Jamie does this thing, and I kept thinking is he ever gonna pipe up about who are you talking about? I think he understood through context.
Whoops.
But what you're knocking
everything over. No, closed water bottle onto a ceramic cup, and it miraculously didn't break, so that's good. Oh, I almost did it again. Got to move that water bottle somewhere else. Fuck, what a day. What a day. Jamie, how are you doing? James?
I'm okay. Brian.
James Thomas. Jamie
Call
T.
me JT. I'm a member of the Backstreet Boys or something. Probably. They all have names like that, right?
I mean, if you're talking Justin Timberlake, he was part of NSYNC.
Oh, yeah. That is the one that I'm thinking of.
Swing and a miss, Jamie.
Hi, this is episode 145 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. I'm saving it. I'm Jamie T. from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm here to show my good buddy Bry the entire DC animated universe from start to finish in the very first... what? Huh? For the very first time.
In the very first controversial
Airdate order ever done by anyone.
Did you ever go to Salvador?
What? No.
Never mind. That's a joke for one person out there.
Okay. It's not me.
I know.
So that he may be, I'll keep that in though, so that one person can go, ha ha, in the background. So that he may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s. Next season of this podcast will be in the final 1900s year, and we'll have to change that to something.
To the 2000s.
The 2000s, I think we made a joke about 500 episodes ago.
Hate that. Good.
The aughts. People call it the aughts.
I'm not a fan of that.
Aughts. I don't like that.
It was 2009 that I was it's the 2000s. And nobody followed me on that, but I like it.
You tried to make that a thing.
I made Fetch happen.
Fetch happen.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording.
6:41 p.m.
6:41. Did I send you that Snapchat where I was listening randomly to the world's finest live show, and it was 5:21 in my real time, and then I said, "Who's got the time?" At 5:21. What the fuck? And I was scrambling to get to Snapchat, oh god, the time's gonna change before I can capture this. It didn't. It worked with me. It was so fucking weird.
We're just listening to that for nostalgia's sake.
I was trying to get a read on how every time I think about that, I think about how bad the audio sounded because we were so last second. In my brain, it was so bad. Mm-hmm. It really wasn't. It was just the levels were kind of hot. So whenever we talk above this current volume we're talking now, it kind of for a second. But sorry, listener with the headphones. Let me do that again. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. I think we can make it better next time, whatever that is.
We'll just pay attention to our levels a little more.
We'll just remember the microphones. Today we're watching New Batman Adventures, episode Chemistry. Your prediction last time was that this was Dr. Chemistry and reunites with his daughter, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
Professor Chemistry? I can't remember. And then I think you also guessed it was not to do with like physical chemical chemistry, but to do with human being interaction chemistry.
Interpersonal?
And I said it was both.
Oh.
Sure. Interperson.
Have you ever entered? Never mind.
Yes, I have a child. You know this. This first aired Saturday, October 24th, 1998, 8 a.m. on Kids WB. 1 week after it wasn't that funny, Brian. 1 week after our last episode.
Okay, my bad.
Stop laughing all the time. The laughing guy. Girls' Night Out 1 week later. This aired number 21 and produced number 22. Womp, womp, womp sound effect. It's right here on the first page. I don't know. It's not really that disappointing. It's just not the same number. You know, what are you doing? You're doing stuff.
I'm trying to.
Stop doing stuff.
I'm trying to adjust this bright. Oh, I did it wrong again.
You look good. You look great.
Do I look okay? What if I do like, is that better or does?
No, it didn't change at all.
Oh, it just, it
Brian is trying to illuminate his face with a computer scrreen for me, but it's plenty illuminated.
Am I pretty?
Oh, God. It got brighter because the webcam
Contrast.
adjusted.
Contrast.
Lens flare. J.J. Abrams. If you would like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watchdcau. Links in the show notes. And the New Batman Adventures is streaming on Max and available on DVD and Blu-ray. I forgot to say those a second ago, but now I'm realizing that might be a better spot to say them anyway, so I don't have to say the name of the show twice. We'll figure this out someday. We'll learn how to podcast. That's like a dog
Max.
That you're showing me.
Max.
That's Max?
No, not really.
When did he turn into like a stress toy, squeezy stress toy?
Met a witch. He got cursed. Now I can squish his skull.
You can figure out the rest, I think.
It's chemistry.
Shit I shouldn't have said around the witch. That's how it goes.
I bet you can't turn my dog into a marshmallow, I said to the witch.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to her. It was the wrong move. In fact, she immediately turned him into a marshmallow. I should have seen it coming.
I feel like I can't really I feel bad when I like squish this guy's little head.
That's no good.
That's not sad.
Sad when you do that.
I gotta get rid of this thing. I gotta give it to somebody who wants it.
Why do you have it? Where'd you get it?
Kimmy, she's like, here, take this thing. And now I'm like, fuck, I have this thing and I don't want it. Now it's just here. It's looking at me.
Kimmy's listening to this podcast. She knows you said that.
But like, it was in an Easter egg, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's cute. But now I'm like, oh God, what do I do with this thing? What do? You get things everywhere, Brian, Jamie. How do you do that?
Brian doesn't appreciate gifts. We know this very well for every time I get him a gift. I mean, he appreciates them. He doesn't want them. He just says, no, please don't. But then sometimes even afterward, I guess. Sorry, Kimmy. I would love anything you give me ever, okay? I love this little clay us that I have on my shelf I'm looking at. We're in a wagon.
We're like right there,
It's right here next to me.
I
look at it every day. I like Kimmy, for one. This was written by Stan Berkowitz, directed by Butch Lukic, who previously directed You Scratch My Back, Love is a Crock, and Cult of the Cat. Mm-hmm. 2 episodes we didn't like, and 1 we have on the top 10. So, music is by Christopher Carter, and animation is Coco Dong Yang, Wouldn't You Know It? That's the full name now. That's in parentheses. Could you have guessed?
It's weird. It's a weird name for a company.
I don't know why they did that. It's like they knew someday 2 jackasses would be watching through all of this controversially. Head over to the link in the description, please, to send us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode and we'll plug your shit.
Jamie,
shit to plug.
You got 2 plugs.
I have shit to plug.
Nope.
After me, what? I have 2 shits to plug.
Plugs. No, shits to
plugs to shit.
Wait, which is the right one? I can't English. Plugs to shit? No, shits to plug.
Shits to plug. I do have 2 shits to plug. I'll do that in just a second, though.
Okay.
We'll also do a push-up for every $1. So send us coffee for our health and your entertainment.
And your plugs.
Yeah, the plug. There is one this time. It comes from Kyle Naranya.
Yeah.
Who sent us 2 Yoppie Bevs. Just wanted to send some good vibes toward these great Yoppie dudes. And he requested that I plug that on his podcast, The Film Realists. His upcoming episodes next week will be 2 reviews in one episode. Gladiator 2 and Wicked.
Oh
Are you excited for either of those films, Brian? No is the answer.
I will. Okay, on to plugs. Film Realists.
Yeah.
You know those people who are just like,
Kyle.
You see someone, you're like, Kyle. You're like, they're just really good at that thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just like, someone's just like, wow, you just like do that, huh? Like you're like a really good baker.
He was born
or you're
to
like
review Gladiator,
juggler or whatever. Yeah. Kyle's one of those just like, Kyle's just like an absolute like bored natural podcaster. He's just really, really good at it. And I'm like, wow, he just does that, huh? So
he's got a voice for radio.
And a face for TV.
That's fine. Yeah, I like it.
Jeez. Why is he so pretty?
I don't know.
So
I
listener,
also like Kimmy, to be clear.
So if you haven't, or if you have still, please do go listen to The Film Realist wherever you pod. If you haven't listened to Film Realists, listen to it. And if you have, continue to listen to it. Don't stop. Don't just stop because we talked about it. That seems in antithesis of the point of doing the thing. Yeah. Do it twice as much, in fact, now, because we're doing 2 rounds of push-ups.
We sure are. Let's do them real quick, and then I'll say the plugs I have to shit plugs while I'm out of breath.
Great. Let's do 10 things I love about you. 10 things I love about Kyle.
Brian is tall. Brian is handsome.
3.
Brian has great hair. Brian,
6.
I like a lot of the pants he has.
8.
Pants? I like a lot of the shirts he has.
10.
I like his dogs. I like his other dog. I like his girlfriend. I've lost count of how many push-ups I've done. I'll just do 2 more.
I really hate that like pants and shirts came first to your brain over like dogs and people in my life.
I'm just thinking of physical attributes. I said you were tall. I liked your hair. I'm like, what else is on his body? Pants.
Oh, you know.
I like his underwear. You do have a pair of underwear that's like mint green with black stripes on it. And I recently got a pair that it looks a lot like that. And I thought, oh, Brian has these. I've seen Brian change pants before.
I'm wondering if I should play along because like... I don't think I've ever actually had that in mind. I've had a couple pair of striped underwear.
We'll look through your underwear drawer next time I'm with you. Yeah. No, I don't have that, Jamie. I want to be there for you, man.
Those
plugs that I wanted to talk about. So first of all, there is a book
hip hop
out. We talked a hip hop out that we talked about with Dan Reba a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
From writer Bob Miller. It is called The Unofficial Batman the Animated Interviews. It's split into multiple volumes that you can buy hardback or paperback on bearmanormedia.com. BEAR Manor Media. His production such and such. He got a bunch of stuff from... I'm so out of breath. He got a bunch of stuff. I was trying to hold it. From Watchtower Database in there. And a bunch of new interviews, and it's just like millions and millions of cool trivia shits from the creation of the show. Definitely get the book. It is insanely full of cool things. You should get it. The other thing is I am still out of breath. I was just on the Above and Batman Beyond podcast, talking about the 3rd episode of Batman Beyond.
Whoa.
I know.
Spoilers.
I know.
There's 3 episodes?
Yeah, there's at least 3 episodes of the show. Sorry about that.
Dude, this podcast is never going to end, man.
It ruined everything. Yeah, you're so spoiled.
But there's just one of each show.
Yeah, well, you should have learned by now. There's at least 80-something of Batman. What?
Finish what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I was reviewed an episode with him. I won't say the name of the episode to you, Brian.
Okay.
Know. But that comes out the same day as this comes out that you're listening to right now. So once you're done listening to it, just go over Above and Batman Beyond, and I'm on it, and listen.
That's great.
The end. Those are my plugs. Oh, also, he's doing a Batman Beyond documentary. I wanted to mention that.
That's sweet.
Benjamin David is his name. Is B David Studios is the YouTube channel. that's on or will be on. It's like a 45-minute documentary he's trying to do with interviewing people who worked on the show and all that good shit. So if you like to hear about these things we talk about from other people also, then go do those things. Okay, Brian, what were you going to say?
So, like, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay. Did you watch Logan first like I told you to?
No, I didn't.
Fucking idiot.
You know what? As much as I like Deadpool movies, I was kind of let down by it.
It wasn't as good as the other two.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
I still liked it a lot.
It was. I laughed, but it wasn't as good, was it?
It's Disney now. They ruined it.
That checks out. That checks out in a big way.
I mean, I'm quoting stupid people, but also kind of right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go watch Chemistry.
How do you watch? You just like put some baking soda in some vinegar. To God,
I'm going to fucking kill you.
Whoa.
I'm so
okay.
Sorry, bro.
Using what? Here's a knife.
Here you go. I will never kill Kimmy, though. I like her too much.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we transition out of this? 3, 2, 1, go.
I hope we have already. Oh, bye.
Everything's changed for me these last few weeks. The pain of my parents' deaths, it's still there, but it seems smaller. And there's a new feeling now.
Which would be?
It's a lightness, a sense that things will work out for the best.
It's called happiness.
Whatever it is, I like it. And I know who's responsible for it. I've asked Susan to marry me. She's accepted. She's everything I need. She's perfect.
There's just one problem. That. How you gonna keep it from her?
I won't have to. I've always assumed that sooner or later the three of you would get all this. Well, it's gonna be sooner. I'm not going to be Batman anymore.
Do boilers do that? Cold water touch hot boiler, it explodes like 100-foot explosion.
I don't think, I mean, it wouldn't erupt like in fire. If anything, it would erupt in steam.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Poison Ivy seemed very sure of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I
feel like if you were going to build a ship, you'd have like an insulated boiler. So it wouldn't just be like a hot pot on a stove introduced to cold water.
I mean, yeah, if it wouldn't ignite like a. All right.
If you're wondering, Synup, what you just watched, Synup, take a listen to the synopsis, the short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Wow, man, you got there.
Yeah. What happens in the Chemistry? Go.
Okay, Bruce Wayne is at a wedding and he's like, I'm going to be single forever. And then he catches the garter and this other girl catches the bouquet and they get a picture. And then suddenly, wait a minute, something is happening. And they dance and their
bat pants are getting smaller, he says.
So Bruce is all like, things are different. I'm going to be a fucking creep and spy on this girl that I like.
Oh my God. I forgot that scene happened. As soon as he's walking on the roof, I'm like, oh, Brian's not going to like this.
Yeah, no. And then a week later, he proposes and they get married. And then at Bruce's wedding, something's going wrong with Veronica Vreeland, whose wedding we were at the first place.
In parentheses in the episode guide.
And then he's like, I got to go over there. And his wife is like, I'm perfect. So you go over there. And he's like, okay. And her husband is like attacking her.
Famous catchphrase.
And then the house is on fire, but Bruce saves her. And then the husband goes to Poison Ivy. He's like, I can't do this. Check it out. And he's got leafy chest hair. And we're like, oh no, it turns out these perfect couples are made by Poison Ivy. And then there's a couple's yacht retreat, which who would do that for a honeymoon? Who the fuck would do that for
all these people
billionaires?
Happen to get married at the same time. Yeah, we'll never understand them.
No. Anyway, And it's just all these people are talking about their perfect spouses and they're perfect every way and they have green eyes. And oh, my girl's perfect too and she has green eyes. And Bruce goes, wait a minute. 2 people, newlyweds, married people with green eyes. Fuck that. And he gets all pissed off and turns out Poison Ivy made all these perfect spouses so she could steal their rich people's money, which again, I'm pretty okay with.
Yeah. But, another Poison Ivy scheme that we're like, all right, go Poison Ivy. It's only a bad thing because it's affecting the hero of the show, I guess.
Yeah. And then Batgirl and Robin are like, hey, I'm on a plane and I have this herbicide.
I want them to show up in the Batwing and it opens. They go, hey, I'm on a plane. And there's no time for this. I know. I see that.
And Robin's got a backpack sprayer full of herbicide and he sprays all the newlyweds, all the plant, half of the newlyweds. And they start to die. And then everyone gets on Poison Ivy's boat. And then Batman gets away. Oh, he says, I'm going to give up being Batman. And then fast forward to the end of the episode, and he's like, I'm not going to give up being Batman. So,
I'm going to flick my wedding ring that I had in my hand this whole time or something.
He's like not phased either. He's like, oh, guess my wife who's drowning
that sucks.
Wasn't real. Kaping, goodbye, wedding ring. I don't care about this. The end.
I also like the shot of her at the window at the very end where he sees her like she's gonna sink, and the boat's just like floating there, and then it just goes whoop underwater immediately. Like, oh, sorry, Batman? Did you need time to look at your wife one more time? I'll hold on. Oh, you got it? Okay. Thwoop.
It very thwoop.
I do also like
thwoop to the max.
Yeah. I like when Poison Ivy is also reaching her hand out. Help, save me. And Batman goes kind of like, you're like, well, I'll just loosely dangle I missed you. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. He almost does the like, shake my hand, psych, and runs his fingers through his hair.
Back behind his head, yeah. But over his bat ears. Ow.
It's got that energy.
All right, official synopsis. Bruce hangs up the cape and cowl when he finds the perfect woman, but everything is not what it appears to be. True.
Wow, is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll mention this before I forget about it because I forgot to put it in Tribs, but we interviewed Stan Berkowitz about this episode because on the DCAU wiki, I don't think it's there now, but for a bit there was a thing that's, because anyone can edit a Wikipedia thing. It said, writer Stan Berkowitz, and then it said like co-writer or story or something like that, James Cameron. And I was like, huh? What? Like, so we had this when we interviewed Stan Berkowitz as a group, we were like, is that true? Like, and he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So it must have been just some like, haha, sinking boat, Titanic, James Cameron, LOL. But when we were talking to him about the episode, he was saying how he was having arguments with Alan Burnett about how Susan should manage to make Bruce fall in love with her. And then Alan had basically like forced him to put in the bit about pheromones because Stan just wanted it to be that, oh, this woman was just so perfect that Bruce Wayne couldn't help but just drop everything and, oh, I'm finally happy. I'm going to marry this woman. Even though like that part of the episode goes so fucking fast. Like it's so... we don't know yet that they've been dating for weeks. It's just they met at a wedding. Batman voyeured at her on a rooftop, and then he is on a boat with her and proposes like in the next scene.
You could almost hold your breath at the end of Veronica Vreeland's wedding.
Well, there's the whole
hold
scene in the
it until
Batcave.
they get married.
That's after that, isn't it?
You could almost do it.
There's the jewelry thief thing. Yeah, you might be able to. We should try it. Let's go back. But, where it just goes so fast that like I think that's necessary personally to do the pheromone thing because if there wasn't like a stupid supervillain reason why he fell in love with her, it would be so unbelievable.
It's just like the scene in the Bat Cave where he's just like, I don't understand it. There's this feeling like everything's gonna be okay, and it's like, all right.
And they're like, it's called happiness. Whatever it is, I like it, which I do like is a good line. But yeah, I don't know. What's your takeaway from this?
Man, I like a lot of the creativity.
Okay.
But it also just kind of, it was another one of those episodes that I feel like I just like kind of watched it go by. And I was like,
yeah. How long did it take you to figure out it was poison ivy?
It was when he put his face through the laser beams and there was like green beneath it. And I was just
that scene is very keen, but it's also, it catches you up. I forgot that she just runs into a closet and turns on a Dr. Evil death trap. Like, I thought that there was much more leading up to that. So I was just like, oh, there's just lasers here. And at least she says, like, the latest in home security or whatever. But then when he sticks his head through, I know that it's supposed to be creepy because, oh, how is he surviving this? But even if he's a plant man, those would still chop him into bits. Yeah, he doesn't just get to walk through and then be solid and have a couple scratches on it.
And also, how's the skin regenerating?
Yeah, I don't know. Because plants.
Oh,
plants
right.
are
My
different
bad.
than people. Didn't you know that? They can do anything.
Also, the absolute throwaway of Veronica's in the hospital. She'll probably come out of it in a couple hours, but I've hired some security guards to watch over her. And plant husband is just like, okay, Poison Ivy, I got to talk to you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like, okay, so Veronica's just, for the rest of the episode, she's just gone. We're just done with her.
Just assume she's fine.
She's in the hospital. She's safe. Bye.
Although we have like 3 episodes of Batman left after this. I don't think she's in any of them, so maybe she did die.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be sweet.
No. I mean, she was a pretty dumb character. She's always like falling for Mad Hatter shit and things like that. So I don't know. She's always trying to trick Penguin into thinking she likes him, and then she doesn't actually. And
damn.
Kill her.
So same question you asked me, but reverse. What's your takeaway with this episode?
I like it okay. I kept just thinking about, because that video that I filmed in your shed house a couple of years ago it was a Poison Ivy related video, and I remember I had to watch and read like every DCAU Poison Ivy thing for that. And this was an episode that had a lot of like details in it that I could use for the video that I won't say more about. But watching it now, I was overcome with a sense of like stress of like, I have to be paying attention to every frame of like, the research I have to do for this, just because that's the last time I watched this. And I had to keep reminding myself like, no, you're watching it for the stupid goofy Batman podcast. You just watch it, just enjoy it. I have so much of that with these shows now for the YouTube channel that I just end up having to like remind myself that it's okay to just sit and enjoy it every once in a while.
It's interesting that we have pretty much the exact opposite experiences. Like, I'm here being like, what is this thing? And you're like, pretend this is just a thing you're watching.
Just watch a TV show, for God's sake.
I am just watching a TV show, and you're trying to just watch a TV show.
Well, I mean, it's a fine episode. It's not like one that I love or anything, but I also think it, like, I mean, when you say it had a lot of good, it was interesting, I think is what all you were saying was like, what was interesting about it that makes it better than, I don't know, Girls Night Out or Cult of the Cat or whatever that we've been ragging on Batman episodes a lot lately. And I just feel like,
I mean, like the premise is pretty interesting, and I think there's such a chance for some like genuine body horror, and I guess like people like watching their spouses melt has got to be like, I think I want some more of that trauma. Like, maybe we don't make it Batman's wife, right? And we just like Batman goes along as the storyteller to like weave this all together, and then you get the body horror of people watching their new spouses melting in front of them, and the horror of like Poison Ivy coming on. Like, there's some like extreme stuff, but instead we're just like, Batman finds a girl, Batman gets madly in love, Batman gets married, Veronica is in trouble.
All very fast, yeah.
Like, I mean, literally, Batman leaves his wedding to go save Veronica. Like, that's how fast this is.
That would have been a moment to kind of hammer home the whole like, oh, he's so smitten and taken with this woman that he can't even leave to go save. Like, what if they did kill Veronica Vreeland or something? Like, she just dies in her burning house. And he's he couldn't. I mean, it's very dark all of a sudden. But I'm just saying, like, he's supposedly so overcome by the pheromones / love for Susan that he is like, I'll do anything. I'll marry her in 2 weeks or whatever. But when he's like,
I think it was less, right?
Yeah, something.
Because Veronica got married in 2 weeks.
Oh, right. Yeah. But when he's like, oh, my like they keep calling her his friend, but I swear they were dating a couple times in BTAS and stuff. Like his ex-girlfriend / just like rich friend woman has been in like 4 other episodes. He has to leave now to save her. And it felt a little bit like, do you? I think you would just go like, she's probably fine. But I guess it's because he's Batman and he needs to investigate or whatever the fuck. He needs to jump out of a 20-story building and land on his feet on the yard outside.
While holding the dead weight of another human.
Yeah, I think it was only like
I was expecting him to jump into a pool, but like...
he landed in water. He's fine, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess for me, that's kind of why, like, I think it's too rushed for me to feel really attached to.
Oh,
like,
I mean, it's trying to be very like deep with its, wow, nothing has ever made Batman give up his mission to be Batman, except for a lady he was trying to marry like 20 years ago or whatever. But now it's happening again. But like comparatively to Andrea Beaumont, it's like, this is nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's the like, I mean, I will forever remember the scene of Bruce like going to his parents' grave. Yeah, like, holy shit, the emotional impact. And this, we're just like, at what point in time do we care about his spouse in this episode? Really? Like, sincerely. Just like, like, oh, I was trying to make you laugh. Like, oh, here's this chick. Maybe she's like kind of witty. And then she's just nothing for the rest of the episode?
I mean, I guess if they had done the same thing where they make, because, spoilers for Mask of the Phantasm, but whenever he falls deeply in love with this woman, they're going to get married. They're perfect for each other. I'm talking about the movie. And then she turns out to be the bad guy. Oh, shit, that's so terrible. If they did that again with this, she turned out to be a leaf woman, then like
but that's what I'm saying,
after
like,
an hour and a half of her not being that, then it would just be the same thing. I don't know.
But so again, I would implore.
Why did you do this then?
Do we need the Batman love?
Right, it could just be a different. I mean, I thought when you were describing that before, I thought, well, could it be a different character? And I thought, like Nightwing's in this episode just to like be a bitch for a second. Like he's just like, fucking, I give it a month or whatever. Like, and
I mean, we could just like follow Andrea. Like that could be the like
Andrea.
Susan.
Yeah, the plant wife, Susan.
No. Veronica.
The other redhead that he dated.
Oh, my God, the names.
Barbara. Mary Jane Watson.
Dick? But he, does it have to be him experiencing the same thing? Can't we just see the, like, wow, this is strange. All these people around me are getting married, like, the week after meeting these people. Wow, they all have green eyes. That's maybe the people all make mention of the striking green eyes or something. Like, we can follow this story arc without Bruce getting married.
I don't know.
Also, are we going to see the fallout of divorce? All these people
from plant
these
divorce,
billionaires spontaneously divorcing their MIA spouses.
That was my one question, though. Whenever when they're on their quarters in the boat. And she's like, why are you interrogating me? And then she starts like leaking plant sweat. And he's like, what's this? What's this juice? And then he what are you? And there's another really good line. They're like, why, Bruce? I'm your wife. And then she like becomes a tentacle plant monster.
Plant wife.
But it's like, did you not fuck at all? Like,
oh my God. Did you? No, wait, let's, okay. That point stands. Like, no notes. Great question. You don't need a physical, intimate relationship, but still, like, this is the 90s. We're not that progressive.
It's Bruce Wayne. He gets around.
Yeah, right. My question, like, he's then after the wedding on the honeymoon being like, who's your family?
Yeah.
Who are your friends? What's your background? Bro, those questions, questions you need to know.
I guess that's the pheromones thing or something. I don't know.
But like, Is it? Like new relationship energy, big deal. Got it. Knowing how the person you are marrying or getting into a relationship with, how they like walk through the world, how they interact with the
lasers
world,
in a closet,
their capabilities of maintaining relationships, like lessons that I learned the hard way, but like all the same, you gotta do some homework, and after you get legally married is not the time to figure out what's up with their parents.
He's standing there on the balcony or whatever, talking with those other guys, and they're like, Delilah has green tits too, and I never noticed that before. Why are there leaves all over her tits?
That's funny. My wife Betsy also has green leafy tits.
You'd think that would be something alarming that would get us.
Some chick walks
question.
up. Roger's got a branch for a dong. Pretty weird.
That was something I noticed in the episode, was one of the like kind of older woman with the short gray hair that they're helping down into the lifeboat or whatever. The man that she is standing by whenever Poison Ivy's like, who's your money going to go to? All of your heirs or whatever. And all the plant people kind of like reveal themselves and look at their spouses. The one with that woman looked like exactly, it was the same character model as the guy from the other Veronica Vreeland episode. Oh, the penguin, what a bitch. That guy. Wow. And I was like, oh, what? So obviously, like, he hasn't been a plant this whole time or whatever, but it just made me think, was he a plant this whole time? Like, that's the first. Do a whole Watchtower database video. Was Pierce Chapman, where the fuck is he a plant?
Chap Pierceman.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sure we said that in the past in the other
Maybe. I hope.
Let me tell you about the cast of this episode.
Oh my God. Tell me about the cast of this episode.
I will right now. It is Kevin Conroy as Batman / Bruce Wayne. It's Matthew Valencia as Robin / Tim Drake. Tara Cherendoff as Batgirl / Barbara Gordon. We have Linda Hamilton as Susan McGuire. You know Linda Hamilton. She's Sarah Connor in the Terminator movies.
Whoa!
She was Plant Lady.
Wow.
I don't know why. Directed, co-written by James Cameron. Tim Matheson as Michael Vreeland. This was the guy that Dan was saying was on Space Ghost and was like, he came in for a recording. He was previously Gil Mason in Shadow of the Bat, who Barbara Gordon leaves in Traction or whatever. Eric in Animal House, Johnny Quest in Johnny Quest, Jason Space Ghost. He'll be back as one other notable character later. Diane Pershing as Poison Ivy, Lauren Lester as Dick Grayson, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, per the Blu-ray credits, which I'm sure is also a nickname we've called him before. It's canon now. Mel Winkler as Lucius Fox, who I think only said one thing when he's like toasting Bruce Wayne. Mary Lou Henner as Veronica Vreeland. Ed Gilbert as photographer. Could you please move the garter into the shot, but don't put the flowers in the shot. Just leave those just outside of the safe margin that you can see on screen for some reason. See through the lens. He was previously Mr. Haley in Robin's Reckoning, Jake and Dugan in Mask of the Phantasm, University Guard in The Hand of Fate, and additional voices in Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero.
Yeehaw.
And last we have Bruce Locke as Mr. Lou, who was the other guy on the boat going, my wife has green eyes too, bitch. I don't know if I'm saying bitch a lot in this episode. I'm so sorry to any bitches out there. Credits erroneously list him as Bruce Gilbert because Ed Gilbert is right above him. So whoever wrote that just wrote it twice, I guess.
Nice.
I looked up to see if that's anybody. Bruce Gilbert is the founding guitarist of the punk band Wire. So that was interesting.
I know that band.
I thought you might just because you're you, but you didn't, and I didn't.
I'm sorry.
The end. This is his only DCAU acting credit, Bruce Locke. He was General Yamori in The Man in the High Castle, which I've heard good things about, but I've never watched. Otomo in RoboCop 3. and Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat Conquest TV series from 1998.
That's for you, Tipped Apricot.
It is. He was also additional voices in Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was a fake out. It wasn't Darkman Private. I'll start with a quick triv because we just talked about this guy. So he was also the shop owner voice uncredited, the jewelry guy.
Yeah, okay.
I was looking for through all of our like archived like files and stuff for extra tribs, and apparently we had at some point saved the storyboards for that scene with the jewelry heist where I said there were 4 guys, you son of a bitch, he said. And the storyboard, when they enter when the camera enters the jewelry place and the guys are like holding up the shop owner, he's drawn like way racist. Like he's got a big Fu Manchu mustache, and he's got like that like button up silky Chinese jacket, like traditional Chinese jacket, and the little cap that goes with it and stuff. He just looks so like obviously like someone can look like that clearly, but like they changed him in the episode to a much less dramatically racially charged looking guy,
Interesting.
So and the guy that drew those storyboards is notoriously very right wing on his social media these days, and very conspiracy theory kind of guy.
All surprised.
So I was like, oh yeah, this adds up when I saw them. It was a very strange because I try not to look at the episode before we watch it. Like, I want to be fresh, but I had to go like that wasn't in it, was it? And I had to like check that scene like, no, okay, cool. But like, Jesus. In that storyboard though, that Batman throws a bunch of like flash grenade ball things to distract the guy that's holding up the jewelry thing. That doesn't happen in the episode.
Oh. Does that happen like frequently where they like do something in the storyboards and completely undo it in the animation?
Most of the time it seems to line up pretty well. And I assume that maybe these aren't the final storyboards. Like my guess is that they probably saw the Chinese man he drew and went, no, and just redid the entire scene or something. But the other thing was that when the final thief is sneaking up behind Batman, Robin just goes like, and grabs a batarang and throws it at that guy. In the storyboard, he reaches on, this makes no sense. He reaches, and it's topical. He reaches onto the shelf and grabs a can of tomatoes and throws it at the guy. And I'm like, why the fuck are there tomatoes in here?
Can you imagine? Let's just take a moment and just like close our eyes. We imagine the scene where somebody with like a bag full of canned tomatoes walks into a pawn shop and says, hey Mick, how much can you give me for this? He opens it up, he looks at the can, he looks at the expiration date, and just goes, I'll give you $3. And he goes, come on, man, look at there's like 12 cans in here. He says, all right, I'll give you 4. Take it or leave it. And he like does that. And then here he is, the pawn shop owner, like dusting these canned tomatoes, putting them on like a prominent display point right behind the counter. Cause like, obviously you're going to want some canned tomatoes.
Those, yeah. Everybody loves tomatoes, so they want to buy them and eat them.
Wow. That's special.
So those are the 3 things that stuck out to me as just like extremely different from the in the credits. Michael, the plant man, is listed as Michael Vreeland, when logically Veronica would have adopted his last name, not the other way around. He was just a progressive plant man. I don't know.
To be fair, if he is a creation of Poison Ivy's,
he wouldn't have a
not that big of a, well, I would say not that big of a stretch to assume, like with her like political chargedness, that like, you'd be a little more new wave and accepting of the female's last
Poison
name.
Ivy would have told him to do that. He would sell the
Why
act.
not? I can explain it either way.
You notice this when Susan and Bruce are revealing plans for their honeymoon. Bruce's eyes keep changing from blue to black, and in one shot they're green. Mm-hmm. You said, has he always had green eyes? And I just went, no, you spoiled a triv, but that's okay. When speaking with Dick at Bruce's wedding reception, Barbara at one point exclaims, as if, which was the most 1900s thing of this episode. This is a famous saying from the movie Clueless, starring Alicia Silverstone, who also starred in Batman and Robin as Batgirl, which was released around the same time this episode was produced. I don't know if that is the real thing, if that's why she says that, or if it's just because she's a girl in the 90s. Yeah.
Hard to say.
The instrumental score called The Promise from the feature film Batman Mask of the Phantasm can briefly be heard when Bruce announces his intention to give up being Batman. It's the shot that cuts to the bat suit like hanging over the back of the chair. Mm-hmm. It's music from Mask of the Phantasm plays, which I've always thought was pretty cool because it's the same, like, this is the only other time that I've considered doing this or whatever. But it also... I was trying to think the whole episode what it is, and I hope I remember when we get to it. But the moment the door explodes at Veronica Vreeland's house through when he jumps out the window with her or whatever, that whole scene, the music is in a Justice League episode. We had that happen in a Superman with the big I
remember you mentioning that.
Pink alien tentacle things that are chasing them. But I was hearing it going God damn it, what episode is this? It's the whole time. And I'm like, man, I know this. I don't know. You caught that Jason Blood was at the wedding. You saw his hair. It's red hair guy. But the other notable guests at the wedding, Bruce and Susan, include Leslie Tompkins, Dr. Joan Leland, who's from Arkham Asylum, Kirk Langstrom, the Man-Bat, Francine Langstrom, She-Bat, that was her name in the thing, Summer Gleason, Jack Ryder, Zatanna, Lucius Fox, Commissioner Gordon, Mayor Hamilton Hill, and Miss Bambi from Mask of the Phantasm. I'm glad she escaped the unknown's clutches.
I did just such a cursory glance to see if I could clock anybody in there, but it was one pan.
It's the shot following the wedding cake being rolled in, and they just walk so quickly by everybody that you would have to pause like a me to see who it was. The fact Zatanna is in attendance at Bruce's wedding indicates she may have learned his true identity in her titular episode, her green leafy titular episode, Zatanna. She had known him for a long time, going back to when he was practicing escape artistry from her father, but he was under the alias John Smith at that time. So,
whoa!
I guess she figured it out, or he was like, "Hey, I'm actually Bruce Wayne. Please come to my wedding." It's also the only time we see Zatanna in this art style, because she was in BTAS, and they just make a new Batman Adventures style version of her to sit at a wedding for 3 frames. Okay, thanks.
Good for them.
Yeah. The last I've got, when Bruce is knocking at Veronica's door, the mansion explodes. There's a frame from the explosion of Ivy's greenhouse that comes up only later in this episode. So they needed more.
So they went forward into time and grabbed an explosion and brought it back for this.
I guess so. Yes, they knew. All right. I'm going to say from now on, I'm going to try really hard to say, it's time for Keen Effects.
Wow! Keen.
Before I push that button, there are a couple people that wrote in and said that they had a heart attack when I pressed that button before. Before they just caught them off guard. So,
All right. Well, let's talk about, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the terminology here, but the many, many instances of rack focusing in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Was that keen or anti-keen?
I mean, it was keen, but it was shocking. Almost like you just pressed the keen button without any warning.
Yeah, it was something weird like that. Who would... I think that did feel like a one of those we're experimenting and figuring out if this will look cool, but they just did it. I think you counted 4 times, and I think it might have been 5 with that one on the boat where he proposes. But yeah, a bunch of those. The only one that looked bad to me was the phone hanging off the wire. Was that one of them? I think. Oh yeah, it was when Veronica gets attacked and she drops the phone and it racks focus to the phone. That one had one of those black mask marks around it that was really hard shadow or whatever. The rest looked okay, but it was kind of too much. It was too much out of focusness. That's not actually that far away. That's a football field away if you're racking that much.
Well, that was the one that got me was the maybe first one that I recognized, which was the down the hallway kind of thing. So you it just out of nowhere suddenly
the guy at the jewelry store.
Yeah.
When he has the knife.
Yeah. It's like the screen is split roughly vertically into 3 parts. And the center part is in focus and the 2 outer parts are very out of focus.
Yeah.
And it just cuts to that. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then there's a crazy rack focus. I was like, oh dear Lord. Okay. Well, that's how we're doing that now. And again, I applaud the experimentation. It worked well. It's just like that it was just like the CGI in Sub-Zero where suddenly it's like, why are we doing, what is happening here? You know,
yeah,
it just
to
really
start
caught
with more of the screen out of focus than not. Yeah, I was like, is this a mistake? Why does it look like this? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I do like that ring. The ring one at the end was good because it was, you know, much closer to the camera or whatever and
felt more natural.
Emphasized. Yeah. But yeah, most of the other ones were strange. My favorite actually keen for sure thing was what's his face melting into the tomato soup and his teeth and eyeballs go everywhere and all that stuff. That was very keen.
What teeth? Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
What are his teeth and eyeballs made out of? That
don't think about it, bro.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry. Don't
listener. Question it. It's plant teeth. She put eyeballs and dentures into the plant.
He's got plant teeth.
Plant eyes, plant something, nipples.
Plant pants.
Well, he never took those off, so we don't know for
plant
sure.
Pants. Skin, fake.
Yeah, they could just be part of
plant pants.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that you mention it, when Robin sprays the tomato soup on all the other like fully clothed plant people, like their entire being melts. I would say his pants are part of him, but then he just also chose to wear a shirt on top of his skin.
Yeah, he's just like, I really want to, my like fallen cotton brethren. I want to feel their death upon me.
The Cotton Brethren, I think is the subtitle. Batman in the case of the Cotton Brethren.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else specific, like particularly keen in this, other than the melting folk. That there was a shot, like a helicopter shot, essentially of the boat when all the seaweed vines are smacking into it, and Poison Ivy's pulling up on her motorboat. And Batman motorboated the leaf tits, and I could see it in your eyes. Anyway, there's like a top-down view of the boat. There's all these just kind of like all like bordering on Kirby Crackle blackness in the water that's just kind of like moving around to simulate waves or something. But it was very keen looking to me. Crunchy waves. I don't think there's any CGI. So, luckily. Which song should I play? 1, 2, or 3 for Batman's usefulness?
1.
Okay.
Batman's usefulness.
I think that's the one we did last time. You messed up.
Oh, fuck, I'm so sorry.
How useful is he?
Pretty bad most of the episode. He was being tricked by a vegetable, as she called herself. I don't know.
4.
4? Sure. Okay.
Give him 4.
I'll give him 3.9 mutton chop paintings in a hallway out of 10.
I kind of want that painting.
Well, it's like I didn't ever realize until watching it this time that I'm pretty sure they're having their wedding in like the Wayne Manor living room.
Yeah,
and because they're up like the whatchamacallit table where the bride and groom and also Nightwing and Batgirl for some reason sit. Nobody else, just those four people are up on like where Mr. Freeze stood when he like Tony Hawked down the stairs to get to, you know what I mean?
That's risky, like, by the way, to have it at Bruce Manor, knowing that just behind the clock is the Batcave.
Yeah, they walk over like, my favorite book, and then it opens the Batcave. Oh my God.
The entire wedding party goes silent and they all turn in unison.
And then Jason Blood and Zatanna are like, do you need us to like cast a spell? Should we make everyone forget that this ever happened? Maybe that's why he invited them, in case anyone accidentally hits the right piano key to
there open it is. That's a good theory. I like it. Well, back to usefulness. I'm going to go with my original and say 4. I'm going to give him 4 plant spouses out of 10.
Okay, just keeping it real, man.
I'm just doing it,
real wives, real husbands,
real plants. Marry them.
Where's Clayface? Is he the tomato soup that they shoot at the plant people?
He could be the skin that gets ripped off.
Yeah, he's just the skin he was wearing that got ripped off. Yeah.
Also, okay, wait a minute. Okay. He's got a skin that gets ripped off. Everybody
He sure
else
does.
has skin and it just melts.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they didn't put the tomato soup on that skin so that maybe it would have melted had they done so.
Okay.
It's made of plant skin. It's beyond skin. It's skin with an apostrophe instead of the I. So Clayface is the skin. We've agreed.
Books or hip hop?
Oof. Hip hop.
I think also hip hop.
Oh,
Are we
cool.
putting this on the top 10?
Nope.
No.
Are you?
No. My bottom is old wounds. Your bottom is old wounds. Got an old wounds bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not better than that. So
Old wounds bottom.
they call me old wounds bottom. My wife has green tits too.
Yeah, I don't mean to be harsh. This is just another one of those well enough produced, some questionable moments of why is that a still? Why are we zooming in on this? Why is the bride, why are her eyeballs looking in the wrong directions? But like story, good enough. Art, good enough. Top 10? No.
I think it's the curse of the Kokodangyang where we're just like, yeah, that was not bad, but it didn't blow me away.
Yeah, because again,
like
we leaned into the body horror of this. If this was Studio Ghibli doing it.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
To watch the growing pain. Yeah, the groma panis people do melting plant vegetable men.
Oh my God! Or even sunrise or
yeah, and yeah.
But I said that my brain was like, that's not
Cowboy Bebop people.
Yeah.
When we come back from the mail, though, I'll tell Brian the name of the next episode, and he has to guess what it's about. Does that sound like a funny deal to you?
Oh my God! Yeah.
All right.
That sounds worthwhile listening to the mail through.
Yeah.
One small extra
I think so.
yop.
And it'll happen now.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yops
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all
At least I am.
just Dylan Pollock.
Always watching, he says. That's Dylan Pollock's famous catchphrase. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can send a short-ass email, an email for your ass, or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel or on Spotify. There are a comment. It is from Shane. Great episode, guys. This month has been freaking great month for me. Good times. Hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. How positive, Shane.
Oh.
Thank you so much. My goodness.
Because that's coming up soon.
Yeah, it sure is next week. Shane, you reminded us.
We got to hear some more about Shane.
Is this from something?
And I don't know. It's just a good name to have a sound effect with, don't you think?
Shane. Oh, I'm talking about Shane, he said. This is from Germlin. Oh, wait, Spotify has comments? Wow, I thought this episode was all right. This is for Girls Night Out. Far from the best, but I don't think it's physically possible for me to dislike a B-Test or a New Batman Adventures episode.
What do you think about this
Even
one?
the worst ones I can sit there and enjoy. I really like the X-ray vision effect, but also realize how every girl in this art style looks exactly the same. Yep.
Oh, that was with Veronica's plant husband and Bruce. There's this.
Oh, yeah. You said looking in the
Are they like
mirror.
looking
Yeah.
at each other? And it's just like, you're the same person.
My chin is bigger a little bit, is what Bruce Wayne said. This is from Ryan Hip. Swirls might gout. Is it just me, or is this episode kind of gay? You can tell they suddenly remembered that the show's been called Batman/Superman Adventures this whole time and backloaded that shit with crossovers. Watch out for the down power lines. Tevin Campbell intensifies. I don't know what that means, Ryan, but I bet it's really funny. It's another video, so what do you want to talk about while it loads?
We want to talk about why Ryan keeps sending you videos.
I believe this is either the last one or second to last one. It might be the last one.
Okay.
So it's okay. What's your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, historically, fish food from Ben & Jerry's. But just like in general, I love like a black raspberry or like a mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip is mine.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about
That's why
corn?
I have those minty underwear that I share with you.
We're gonna
It
share.
tastes like mint too. Good Lord, this is taking so long, Ryan. What if I turn off the Wi-Fi?
Why would that help?
Because sometimes the Wi-Fi is overloaded with Aaron having 16 different screens on in the living room. Because he's a Gen Alpha bitch.
It's a special. There used to be a really cool indoor hot tub that no one used here, and it's been closed since lockdown. And the hot tub I used tonight, I never had a moment of privacy, so I was unable to record myself in a hot tub saying it's everybody's favorite hot tub because you remember edition of this, and it's everybody's favorite not tub. Harley can do so much better. You get it? They have towels on their heads and are eating ice cream and doing girly things because they're women. And I wish at the end, in their moment of need, Al Roker showed up and used his Mixia Spitlick powers from the Proud family to save the day. This is my last one from here before I return to reality. Oh, I haven't done a scat thing this entire time, so scoobity boobity boobity bow.
He looks so disappointed in himself by doing it. Thank you,
Okay,
Ryan.
maybe that was worth the video. Thank you, Ryan.
This is from Lanola Cola. Tug on the Super Cape. Vacation.
Cola right now.
Yeah, I would like one. Vacation / Poison Ivy as a main villain double feature. Oh, God, you're going to... Oh, no. Ohio gozaimasu, Strecker-san and Manili Oji-san. This honorific denotes a grandpa. I'll be enjoying a nice trip to Tokyo, Japan by the time you get this email. So I'll do the double feature for Girls Night Out, aka the Ocean's 8 to Night Times Ocean's 11, and Chemistry, aka Weird Science, Plastic Tubes and Pots and Pans. Girls Night Out, the new dynamic duo versus the Terror Tough Girls, because Harley, Ivy, and Livewire are red, green, and blue, you see. You know, they were like Powerpuff Girl covered. Yeah. Batgirl doing the piggyback flight with Supergirl was too funny. Ivy's slow walk to the guard got me feeling unwise. Even the seals skedaddled out of the iceberg lounge. Yeah, we didn't mention that. Chemistry, or you're tearing me apart, Susan. Guess even Ivy had to recycle that old plan from House and Garden. To think Bruce Wayne could have been John Connor's dad. No ejected shell from the robber's gun. Dick Grayson's wedding root beer mug was unintentionally hilarious. Oh, and Barbara's blue drink. Blue
milk.
Yeah, she's drinking Star Wars milk. Once more, the universe denies Bruce even the littlest bit of happiness, and it denies me the ability to talk till we yap again. Thank you, Lanola Cola. LexCorp cares. LexCorp is doing great. Do you ever start to wonder if you're a being of tension alone? If relaxing, even the slightest bit, would mean the unraveling of everything you are? The way that a ball of yarn without tension is just a meaningless lump? Sent from the Lex Nana Man. Look, Lex is a banana too. Does this boost engagement?
Gin, bourbon with a J. Wait, no, gin with J, bourbon with a B. You're gonna hear some stuff in the next coming weeks. It's LexCorp here. You're gonna hear that Lex might have married some vegetable mass, and they might have devolved into a pile of like eggplants on the dance floor. The most important thing you need to know is that that's like not true. It's not really important. It's like not super cool. And my job is, I don't care how many drinks in on this wedding I am, I've got to call in and make sure that there's no false reporting, or they'll, shoot me in the head. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. Say hi to your loved ones and make sure they aren't a fucking potato, because apparently that's something.
Oh, I do love potatoes.
All right, well, toodaloo.
You just gotta eat the raw potatoes like you told Laura you did.
Yeah.
If you just eat your wife, she can't kill you. That's advice
Jamie?
Me. I mean it in both ways. It's not untrue. She cannot kill you. This is from Euphonium Star. Damage reports night out. Police van, hedge, fence, ATMs, mannequins, dresses, escalators, ceiling panels, Ivy's vines, iceberg lounge, penguin suit, silicate tank, water slide, rocks, Ivy's plants. Thank you so much. I always love to be reminded of the things that got destroyed in every episode.
I want somebody to do that with my life.
Remind you of what got destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is from Scrudge.
Scrudge!
I'm a tomato hater, personally. I don't mind a thin slice of tomato on a burger, but if it's a bit too thick, I'll just take it out. Do you ever have that thing where you get a burrito or shawarma or some other wrap, they fold it over and all the meat and vegetables are like split in half lengthwise down the wrap, and like every bite just alternates between all meat or all veggies? Anyway, yeah, I hate it when that happens. I'll start pulling tomatoes in that event. I used to hear this thing as a kid that you're apparently supposed to use a tomato to learn how to kiss. Like you bite into it and then practice sucking the innards, basically.
What the
And
fuck?
I don't know, that just sounded like the most horrible experience to me.
Don't do
Scrooge,
that.
Who's teaching you about kissing?
If anybody else has heard that, let me give you a little word of advice here. If someone starts kissing you after
And
having
tomato bits
practiced
come out
on
of
a
their mouth?
tomato, well, not even that. Just saying like that. You know how you practice people. There's
Pillows or
first time. There's first times for everything, and you're not going to be a pro at the start. But the good news is, it's not going to matter because soon you're not going to be a newbie at it anymore.
Yeah.
You're moving on, and that's fine.
just life.
Don't make out with the tomato and pretend that's going to make you a good kisser. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Someone told that to Bruce Wayne, but he didn't listen.
Oh, God, just
Don't make
making
out
out with
with a tomato.
tomatoes. Fucking Bruce.
Banana Man says, oh. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what we're supposed to do with that.
Fine. That's fine.
Dylan Pollock, chemistry. Diprosium lathanum nitrogen. Dylan. Oh, it's spelled out like a chemical for Dylan. I see.
It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on chemistry, or Bruce is turning over a new leaf.
Oh, God damn it, Dylan.
Because he's wearing a plant lady. All right, we see Bruce do this in Mask of the Phantasm 2. Is it creepy when Batman just sort of stalks women while standing on the ledge of a roof? And we go very quickly from Batman being creepy to Kevin Conroy having a pretty hilarious reading when they are talking to him about this feeling that he's having is happiness, and he goes, whatever it is, I like it. I don't know. I love that moment. That's one of the low-key funniest moments of this show. You know what's not funny? Ivy should really be a little less rude and ask before she just rips people's skin suits off. I thought that was a little uncool. Also, the thing that Robin is spraying the plant people with, trichloroethane, that they use to spray them down, that's a banned carcinogen. So they're killing the plant people now, but they're also killing the people. Anyway,
no.
What's killing you two now is the question of the week. James' favorite part.
What is it?
Obviously, no spoilers, James, but how do we feel about the idea of Bruce ending up finding happiness and leaving Batman behind? Is that how his story should end or no? Interested to hear Brian's answer.
I just want only Brian's answer. What do you think? Should he find happiness someday and stop being Batman, or should he always be a sad boy?
While I think there is something to be said for happiness is the thing that you choose, I think there's some wisdom in that.
And you don't kiss tomatoes.
You don't kiss tomatoes. You'd be a much happier person.
The 2 laws of life.
I don't think he should give up being Batman for a partner. I think he should give up being Batman when he's goddamn good and ready.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I respect this.
There's a point where if he's just like, I'm too old, I'm too this, or I am too PTSD from every goddamn day of my life.
Right.
You know what, man? Take a step back. It's okay.
What do you think would be like something that could like make him go like, all right, that's enough? Because he's dealt with some shit.
The death of one of the people he works with.
Okay. Like a Gordon or Alfred or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon and Alfred and a Robin. Batgirl. Superman? Mate? Probably not Superman. He probably doesn't give a fuck about Superman.
You're like, cool, he's dead? All right. Jordan Newman, GCN, except not really. So last week, y'all wondered why Penguin knows about the existence of Superman and why other characters already know about Supergirl. The answer is pretty obvious. Jack Ryder has spent a solid chunk of time reporting on all of that for the Gotham Insider. That's right, babies. All these Jack Ryder reports have been canon the whole time.
Damn.
Will me canon? Yes. something Poison Ivy made a bunch of gross plant people, and that's probably on Ryder's latest docu-special, but we don't get to hear it because I'm sick and my voice doesn't sound like me today. Never apologize for loving your fandom and trying to stay optimistic. You too, Jordan. Optimize your non-sickness.
Optimize your health.
Eric LeBeau, chemistry. Or what even is Bruce's real eye color at this point?
Are you out of your mind?
Wrong!
I wish Susan had a crisis of identity at some point where she thought she was real and genuinely wanted a peaceful life with Bruce, but maybe that's because I remember how it was when I saw the episode originally. Man, there's a lot of people wearing black shirts, have black hair, or have both in this episode. That must have made things a lot easier on the animators. Also, can we talk about the real crime here? And that's Poison Ivy about to kiss a minor? Like, what the hell? It's still a good episode, but I can't help but feel like I was left wanting a little bit more. Oh, hey, the source of all my misery. Nuts Yelp all right?
Wrong!
Look, it's not my fault that James and Brian made Riddler the winner of the Balderarchy a few weeks back. Look, we've been over this. You have to be in a Superman episode in order to be considered for the Balderarchy.
Wrong!
Croc, where are you going? I gotta go. Keep calm and yap on.
I really like the ones that are just rock. This very quick little thing.
Same.
That's very good. Keen Machine Chemistry. Greetings, James and Brian.
Keen.
I scared people. I heard someone else start their mail with greetings while I was catching up on the podcast the other day, and my mind was like, wait, that's not me. And that jolted my memory that I haven't sent in mail for a few weeks because of how busy life has been. But here I am to talk about Chemistry, a great episode. Even though it relies on similar tropes to House and Garden, Poison Ivy showcases her strategic villainy much more so than in Girls' Night Out. Yes, definitely. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to create multiple plant people, give them apartments where they can be stalked by someone they met one time.
Oh my God.
I didn't even think about that.
No, I didn't either.
She lives somewhere, yeah. And the kissing Robin thing I forgot to mention too. And create extra friends at weddings to act as backup friends for the fiancés to be, and all to kill off the rich spouses in one fell swoop. Very clever, very green. But man, I'm going.
Who was on the bride's side at Bruce's wedding?
I don't know. Veronica wasn't there. I don't know. But ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to take your hands off that boy and stop trying to kiss him. That wasn't part of the plan. What are you? Why, Bruce, I'm your wife. Tentacles spill out. That will never cease to make me laugh every single time. Keep it keen, Keen Machine. Thanks, Keen. Good to hear from you. This is from Zenode. Hey, Juniper and Brambleberry. From Penguin to Worrymen to Harley kidnapping and now abusive T-1000 plant grooms. Poor gal just can't catch a break. Chemistry at first feels like a mash of better episodes, a little bit of Mask of the Phantasm, a lot of House and Garden, and a pinch of Mudslide for body horror. Speaking of House and Garden, I'm just hoping Ivy robbed a sperm bank instead of kidnapping individuals one by one to make those clones. I guess they were just plants always. I don't know. Unless Pierce Chapman being one of them is evidence that they're clones. I don't know. As time passed, I'm warmed up to the episode. It evokes a lot of that third season B-Task energy with the initial mystery, action-packed finale, and even trying to give a villain a definite ending. Quick question before I leave. What too perfect quirk would your significant other have to reveal them as a plant clone? Using bat binoculars to creep at a girl I just met, Zenode. P.S. You think Ivy got all those skin suits from the same place as Metallo? And there's an attached meme that is Bruno Mannheim at a Lucy from Peanuts style stand.
Oh my God.
That says Intergang synthetic skin. The only ripoff here is the skin's easy removal.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. What would Alora have to do to make you think she was a plant clone? Hang on. That's too good to be true.
At this point?
You've been dating for at least 2 weeks, so.
Yeah. For me to be okay, hey, I'm gonna rip your skin off because I think you're a plant person.
You could just do that, and if it comes off and there's blood and guts and stuff underneath, then she's not a plant. That's how you.
Okay, hold on. Let me go check.
Okay.
I feel I don't know, man.
One moment, please.
That's a hard one. I mean, what about you with your wife, right?
I was just gonna say, what color are Alora's eyes?
Actually, they're kind of multicolor, but a little green.
Oh my God, I would go rip her skin off.
No! Well, obviously, Jamie, you'd have to have green eyes.
Green eyes, yeah. Kimmy, I'm sorry. To Tapricot, who told me right before we recorded, they were upset they could not send in their mail. And I said, we're not recording for another half an hour. And they're like, oh my God. And obligatory follow-up from a mention of it last week. The real chemistry is the fact that I got my first tee shot today. Hey, anyway, here's the message.
Yeah!
All right, here is my last-minute mail, as many Bat-Wagoners are doing nowadays. The contemplations for chemistry. First, I want to say thank you for all the nice words last week. I really appreciate you guys and this whole community. You guys are all very nice. Thank you. Next, I think this episode is good, but I think it's a bit too fast. Like, a lot of these episodes in TNBA and STAS that have really interesting concepts but aren't executed well, I think could work better if they were a two-parter, if there was a bit more time for setup and payoff. I know part of this is the fact that it's rushed, the fact that Bruce shouldn't be going into this marriage so quickly when he's only known someone for a couple days or whatever, but I still think that a bit more time of the weight of choosing not to be Batman and stuff could have been laid out better. But I still think that it has a lot of really smart moments. I think it plays really well with the horror that we see, the body horror of the ripping of the skin, and the emotional betrayal of like finding your perfect lover and then realizing that they were made to take advantage of you, and that being kind of a betrayal. I also think it had a lot of really good Bruce moments, great voice acting, loved him confronting Susan in their cruise room and flicking the band into the sea. I think it's a good episode, but episode.
For sure. I
hadn't episode.
Episode. I hadn't really thought about how that's another thing that's lacking from lack of time is that, like, yeah, Bruce finds out that this woman that's kept him from being Batman now, like he's devoted his life to her. She's actually a poison ivy experiment. And he just goes like, dang it, and bees Batman and kicks her butt, and then they leave. Yep. Like, he doesn't have any sort of scene where he gets to be like distraught about that in any way. Yeah.
She's perfect. She's gone.
Yeah. Shit. Well, time to go on to the next episode and never talk about this again. Mark Aquino, last first. Chemistry or Batman interrupts an episode of Pawn Stars, or why do all these super mid episodes always end abruptly? Yeah. There was no like epilogue scene or whatever. Suddenly wakes up. Oh no, I'm still in the stasis pod. I can't believe this. My life's been taken over by a banana variant of me. How would my family and friends not even notice that? It's so terrifying. There's so much that I'm missing out on. You rip off the skin and see if there's a banana underneath. Movies, friends' birthdays, dance parties, the chance to stare lovingly into Brian's eyes. I could go on. I must keep my mind in focus. But on what exactly? Oh, right, the TNBA episode Chemistry. Well, it's a whole lot of nothing, if I'm being honest here. You'd think a story about Bruce Wayne finding love unexpectedly would be a major thing, with Sarah Connor herself, no less. And yet, it's underwhelming. Sure, we get to hear a smidge of music from Mask of the Phantasm, which is nice, but that's really all there is, all that there is worth writing home about. Also, when that one plant guy gets melted down by Robin, his scream was surprisingly heartbreaking. I shouldn't be feeling sorry for a plant man who abuses his human wife. What's going on here? Overall, this episode was a bit of a dud, to be honest. It's not Torch Song or Love is a Crock levels of bad, but it wasn't good either. Definitely a waste of Linda Hamilton. Boss biggest... Happy Marcus. Bear hugs to the number one podcast host in this here multiverse of ours, Joel Robinson and Buck Teeth. Oh, man. You can get those reversed. Praise to our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise, to all of his loyal disciples, all the names. Sometimes I read them. I didn't this time, or most of the time. And of course, all the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. You're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. Wait, there he is. There's Banana Me. Let me out, please. I don't understand. What is this even about? Wouldn't you like to know? Please, I have to get out of here. Over my dead, peeled body. Till next week, banana smoke bomb that'll be blown out by a banana. Oh, whoosh. I just flew away, baby.
The lore groweth.
All right. That's the podcast.
Great. We did a podcast.
You're sure welcome. Did. We do it all the time.
Don't forget about Kyle.
Kyle. Next episode, Brian, is called Judgment Day. Is it Batman or Superman?
How many episodes Batman left?
3.
Batman.
Yes.
It's going to be, that's my prediction. It's going to be Batman until it's not.
But what's Judgment Day about?
Does Bruce die and he goes to the pearly gates? Why is that kind of like the guy from Jimmy Neutron?
Hey, Jimmy's mom.
Yeah.
Does Bruce Wayne die? I can't really do it, except for Jimmy's mom was pretty okay there.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I'm going to give up. Judgment Day. Someone is judging someone. Someone's being judged.
Yeah.
Judging? Not judgmental.
It's a new villain, kind of.
Judge Man.
Yes, actually.
No.
His name is the Judge. Yeah.
Oh, you should just let me believe it was Judge Man.
Judge Man. He'll smack his gavel, his winning gavel.
Judge Man, he's going to judge at you.
Bailiff is his sidekick. Yeah.
He's going to gavel and block at you.
He's going to sentence you to death.
Wow. Okay, this they better do good at this one, or else.
Or else I'm stopping the podcast.
Yeah.
I quit. Like you said, you texted me that.
Yeah. So that's today's secret. I quit the podcast.
Oh.
Bam.
That's not.
But then I did it anyway. So I don't know. Oh yeah, secret about you. Minty stripe underwear.
That's how everybody knows that.
Okay.
So do you also have that.
Hold on. What's the secret that I know about James? Corn?
What's something
no,
I could
not that.
What's something I could say that would make you know I'm a plant person and not your real wife? Yeah, we have 11 episodes of Superman left, 3 episodes of Batman left, and 5 podcast episodes till the new show. I think we're probably
you do that.
I don't know. I just felt like
I think it's a little like that was almost the spirit
get ready to rumble.
Of I was thinking Matt Berry actually.
Oh yes.
Only 5 more episodes until
Superman
our new
left.
show.
3 episodes of Batman left. I need to watch.
Good.
I need to watch that show with. Yes, I hear you, Glenn Fandango, or whatever.
Yeah. Clem Fandango.
Fandango.
Fuck. What is the name of that show?
I don't know.
Yeah, I need to watch it too.
Right into the podcast.
Can I make a recommendation as just to add into that? We watched 1 episode.
Yes, I need to keep. I want to keep watching that, but I also feel like I'm. What was it called?
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Okay, I wouldn't have remembered at all.
It's so good, man.
I always feel like if I'm gonna watch an episode without you, that it's like cheating.
No,
like
just go watch it, please. And Richard Ayoade being fucking incredible. Everybody is so good. Oh.
Anyway, let's end the podcast. We'll see you next week for Judge Man and Bailiff.
Judge Man
World.
and the Bailiff boy.
And Bailiff, but it's a grown man.
Oh God!
He's in like a UPS style suit with the short shorts and stuff. I don't know. I need to draw this, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. Bye.
Oh, okay, he's wearing mint striped underwear. See you next week. Bye bye.
Thanks for listening, listener.
Bye bye.
You
bye
and Kyle, who's
Kyle.
also you.
You are Kyle.
The best.
All right, bye. Bye. Please leave.
Bye.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Tim Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.